Alright guys, it's no surprise I love old school technology, and it doesn't get any more old school and technological at the same time than the Laserdisc player. The Laserdisc format was so far ahead of its time. Let me ask you this, when do you think the first Laserdisc movie became available? Keeping in mind that music CDs came out in about 1983. Well, if like me, you're guessing mid-80s, I mean that's what I would have guessed, and I would have assumed that the music CD came out first, and then once that, worked, then they decided to, do a audio video format on Laserdisc. The first Laserdisc movie came out in 1978. That was Jaws on Laserdisc. 1978, that's 4 years before the music CD ever came out. 1978, it's only a few months after the original Atari 2600 big 6-switch Woody came out. You think of the original Woody, VCS 2600. It really makes you think 1970s, and to imagine, your buddy thinking that was the most high-tech thing at the time, and you tell him that, oh, my dad's got this thing that plays movies off a metallic disc using a laser. He would probably think you're so full of shit. You're just making that up. That's something out of a sci-fi movie. And these things really were so far ahead of their time. I picked up this Hitachi the other day for $6.99. It works like a champ. Works perfectly still today. Let me turn this on for you. Now this model here is from the mid-80s, so it plays music CDs, Laserdiscs, and VCDs. I've got a disc in there. I picked up a few movies with it. Got Rumble in the Bronx, which is cool because I've never seen it until I watched it on here last night, and it played the entire movie without skipping a beat. The widescreen edition too, as you can see. I also got the Untouchables, another movie I haven't seen yet, so that's pretty cool, and Beverly Hills Cop, which I have seen before. But yeah, the movies I got for $5 a piece. They are all in great shape, and let's open this up, shall we? As you can see, this giant drawer opens up, and here we have the Laserdisc itself. Close that. Takes a few seconds as it checks if it's a CD or a Laserdisc. Once that's done, hit play. Takes a second to spin up the big disc, and it is a little bit noisy at first, but it quiets down. And as you can see on the TV, got the FBI warning come up. Nice thing about Laserdisc is the fast forward. It's more like a VCR than it is a DVD player. Let me show you what I mean. It's got a very smooth fast forward to it, unlike a DVD player where it's very choppy. That's because the video on these Laserdiscs is actually analog. It's not digital. There's no digital compression on it. That does come with a little bit of a downfall. The one really major con to this format, other than the price, is that the discs can only hold a maximum of 60 minutes per side. So that means that whenever you're watching a movie, at some point you're going to have to flip the disc over to side B. And that's a little bit of an annoyance, but it's really the one big downside to the format. Other than that, the picture quality is really good. The sound is good. The sound can be either digital or analog. It can be stereo or surround sound. And the Laserdisc format actually is as surprising as it is how early it came out in the late 70s. It's also surprising how long it lasted. In North America, the last movie on Laserdisc was Sleepy Hollow, and that was in the year 2000. In Japan, it lasted a little bit longer, about 2001. you could get Star Wars Episode 1 on Laserdisc, and it had 6.1 channel surround sound. I think it was the first home movie, even before any DVD had it, to have the 6.1, which I think is the EX, the Dolby Digital EX. Pretty amazing that, you know, how long this format lasted, and you know, considering its age, the picture quality is it's amazing. I mean, on your average TV, it's pretty hard to tell that sometimes that you know, it's almost as good as DVD. The resolution is higher than VHS, and of course, you know, the tape doesn't degrade over time, so you know, the picture does remain clear. It's not quite as high a resolution as DVD, but it's close. It's pretty close. You can skip chapters just like a DVD player, as you can see there.
I'm seeing a buyer today. I plan to sell and retire.
One problem with the discs is there's a little problem they call laser rot, where the chemicals in between the layers of the disc break down over time, and the disc will become unplayable. This isn't so much a problem with the format, because not all the discs do it. It depends on which factory they came from. They may degrade over time. And that was even a problem with some DVD discs, so that's not necessarily a problem with the format by any means, just some of the companies that were making the discs. So, I mean, once again, the picture quality is great. I mean, I watched this movie last night, like I said, whole way through, didn't skip a beat, and you know, I could have sworn at times that I was watching a DVD, and you know, to think this is a format that dates back to the late 70s. Like I said, price is the main reason this didn't become mainstream. These players were thousands and thousands of dollars, and in the late 70s, just extremely expensive. I mean, compared to, you know, obviously VHS became the standard because it was the cheapest. VHS actually had a competing tape format with it, and that was Sony's Betamax. And as some of you may know, the Betamax picture quality is actually superior to VHS, but it costs more, and so VHS became the mainstream format. There was a competing format with Laserdisc. There was a competing disc format. In the early 80s, there was the video disc CED, capacitance electronic discs. They're about the same size as a Laserdisc, but the case that the movie's in is also the holder for the movie. You don't pull the movie out. You don't touch the movie. You actually just, there was like locking mechanisms on the case itself, and you'd lock it into the player, and the player would pull the movie in. So you never had to handle the disc itself, which is probably good for longevity. You couldn't scratch or get your fingerprints on the disc. But it was not an optical technology. It didn't use a laser. It used a stylus and electromagnetics. So, you know. And once again, out of the two, there was really no competition. The Laserdisc was the disc format of the time.
Ooh, look at that! Ooh, I wish Uncle Bill had your muscle. Ooh, and you're handsome, too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyways, guys, I'm running out of time, and I really just wanted to show you how good this old format still is. Really advanced for the time, like I said. And you know, I just love stuff like this. I really do. You know, and $5 a movie, I'll pick up the odd movie once in a while that I haven't seen and give it a try. And you know, it's just fun to watch it on this old Laserdisc technology. So I guess that's it. See you guys later.